Booking.com owned 90% of the online hotel market, so they raised commission rates by 20 percentage points. Within 18 months, thousands of hotels delisted. Here's how a monopoly accidentally created its biggest competition. This is Boardroom Files. I'm breaking down one of the most spectacular miscalculations in travel tech and what it reveals about platform power. Section 1, The Dominance. Let's set the stage. By 2020, Booking.com wasn't just winning the hotel distribution game, they'd essentially won it completely. The platform controlled roughly 90% of global online hotel bookings. That's not market leadership, that's a chokehold for hotel owners, especially independent properties and small chains. Booking.com wasn't a marketing channel anymore, it was the marketing channel. It was infrastructure, like electricity or water. You didn't debate whether to use it. You couldn't afford not to, and Booking knew it. The platform had the leverage of a lifetime. They could have milked it slowly. Steady 2-3% annual commission increases, industry expectations. Nobody revolts against that. Instead, they chose a different path. Section 2, the turning point starting in late 2021 and accelerating through 2022, Booking.com launched what can only be described as aggressive commission expansion. I mean aggressive. Historical rates had stabilized around 15%, industry standard, competitive. Booking started pushing rates to 20%, then 25%, then in some markets and property categories 35%. That's more than double the original arrangement. Think about the math from a hotel's perspective. A 300-room mid-range hotel doing $30 million in annual revenue. If 30% of bookings come through Booking.com, which isn't unusual, that's $9 million in booked revenue. At 15% commission, they're paying $35 million. At 25%, they're paying $25 million. At 35%, we're talking $15 million. That's $8 million in additional annual costs for the same property. For many hotels, that erases profit margins entirely. Pattern interrupt, visual example here or on-screen graphic now. Here's the critical thing. Booking.com didn't raise rates equally. They did it selectively, strategically, in waves. They knew which hotels had the least leverage. Independent properties, regional chains, budget segments, those got hit hardest. They were being smart about it, extracting maximum value from suppliers with nowhere else to go, except suppliers found somewhere else to go. Section 3, the rebellion. The first response came from Germany. In 2022, the German Hotel Association and independent hoteliers launched what became known as the Direct Booking Campaign. The message was simple: stop paying Booking.com 25-35% commissions. Book directly instead, we'll give you better rates. It sounds obvious now, it wasn't obvious then. Hotels had spent 15 years becoming dependent on Booking.com's traffic. Shifting that meant investing in their own digital marketing, their own booking engines, their own brand awareness. That's expensive and scary. But the math had become so bad that the alternative, paying Booking.com $2-3 million per year in excess commissions, was worse. Germany didn't stay isolated. The movement spread to France, Spain, Italy, the Netherlands. Hotel associations across Europe coordinated campaigns explicitly designed to bypass Booking.com. Pattern interrupt, quick stat callout. By mid-2023, reports emerged that thousands of independent properties had delisted from Booking.com entirely. Some estimates put it at 10,000 plus hotels in Europe alone. These weren't small properties. We're talking about established regional chains and quality independent hotels, the ones that actually drive repeat bookings. Booking.com's response, mostly defiance. They argued they deserved higher commissions because of marketing value. They claimed market conditions justified the rates. They offered volume discounts to properties that increased exposure. What they didn't do, acknowledge that they'd miscalculated the elasticity of supplier loyalty. Section 4, the competitor acceleration. But here's where Booking's mistake became catastrophic. The commission rebellion didn't just drive hotels toward direct booking. It accelerated funding and growth for alternative platforms that Booking.com might have otherwise crushed. Expedia, which had been struggling to differentiate in Booking's shadow, suddenly had talking points. We charge lower commissions, we're partner-focused. Marriott, Hilton, the major chains began diversifying away from Booking dependence. Smaller platforms like Hotel Tonight, Agoda, and regional competitors suddenly looked viable, and more significantly, hotels began investing in their own infrastructure. Better websites, better email marketing, loyalty programs, direct-to-consumer strategies. In other words, Booking.com's greed-driven commission increases incentivized the exact scenario they'd always tried to prevent: hotels building independent customer relationships and distribution channels. Pattern interrupt, zoom on key insight. Booking.com had been the middleman, a powerful one, but their excessive leverage revealed something fundamental about middleman relationships. They only work if both sides benefit. When one side extracts too much value, the other side eventually invests in removing the middleman entirely. Section 5, the financial impact. Now let's talk about what this actually cost Booking.com. Their stock price didn't collapse, their revenue didn't crater, they're still massively profitable. This wasn't a near-death experience, but it was quantifiable damage. Analysts estimated that hotel delistings and reduced inventory in key European markets cost Booking.com hundreds of millions in potential revenue. More critically, growth rates in Europe, their strongest market, slowed noticeably starting in 2023. Their booking growth, which had been in double digits, dipped significantly. That matters to investors, but the real cost might be longer term and harder to measure. Supplier trust. Booking.com, throughout its dominance, had positioned itself as a partner in hotel growth, a platform that helped properties fill rooms and reach customers. The commission hikes revealed that positioning is negotiable. When your financial position gets tight, the partnership gets expensive. Once hotels realize that about you, they diversify, and diversification is a death sentence for platforms. Section 6. What this reveals. So what's the actual lesson here? Why does this matter beyond travel? This is a masterclass in platform economics gone wrong. Platforms have leverage, that's the whole model. You control access to customers or suppliers or both. You extract value by sitting in the middle, but there's a threshold, exceed it, and you accelerate your own obsolescence. Airbnb learned this. They raised fees on hosts and guests. Hosts started building alternative platforms and using their own marketing. Guests started booking direct with property owners. Uber and Lyft have learned this. Driver commissions become unsustainable. Drivers move to alternatives or stop driving altogether. It's almost universal. The more a platform exploits its leverage, the more incentive it creates for someone to build a platform that exploits it less. Booking.com had the market, they had the trust, they had the data. They could have sustained 17-18% commission rates indefinitely and still been enormously profitable. Instead, they swung for maximum extraction, and in doing so, they taught the entire hotel industry that Booking.com wasn't necessary, just dominant. That's a dangerous position to be in. Section 7, where IT stands as of late 2024, the situation hasn't fully resolved, but the trajectory is clear. Booking.com's inventory growth has moderated significantly. Their European presence is slightly diminished. Hotels continue investing in direct channels. Alternative platforms have grown faster than they would have otherwise. Booking.com will remain hugely profitable and influential. This isn't a collapse story. It's a how to waste a dominant position story. But it's also a warning to every platform company watching. Dominance is temporary. Leverage is temporary. Supplier goodwill is a real asset, and once you spend it, you don't get it back cheaply. Outrow Booking.com's commission hikes didn't destroy the company, but they destroyed something arguably more valuable, the belief that Booking.com's dominance was inevitable and irreplaceable.